So Meet Kevin, as you may know, was arrested for a DUI in Florida. Now, I actually made a video about this 3 days ago, but Meet Kevin actually had that video taken down. He claimed there was private information in it, had it taken down by YouTube. Was not the case, but I'm redoing the video. I'm going to present all the facts, and more information has come out about the case, so I'm going to present all the facts to you in this case. Now, I will not be showing you the police report, because if I do, Meet Kevin will have the video taken down again, so I won't show you that. I will, however, show you the mugshot. The mugshot is available on the internet. Anyone can find it. It's very easily. It's all over Reddit as of right now. So that is the mugshot of Meet Kevin. I have the police report here. I will read to you all of the facts regarding the police report as to why he was arrested. Now, in all fairness, Meet Kevin is disputing these claims. He's trying to get the case thrown out. So I am going to present Meet Kevin's side of the story as well. So if you don't know, Meet Kevin is friends with another YouTuber by the name of Weakman Personal Finance. So Meet Kevin reached out to Weakman and texted him his side of the story. He texted him exactly what he said actually happened in the events. So I will show you the video where Weakman explains Meet Kevin's side of the story. So like I said, I'm going to show you the police report. I'm going to talk to you about the police report, tell you exactly what it says in the police report. This won't be my opinion at all, just the facts, and then I will tell you Meet Kevin's side of the story. Now, it is up to you to make your decision as to what you believe, the police or Meet Kevin. I'm just presenting all the facts for you to be able to see them. So let's start with some of the undisputed facts. In May of 2022, Meet Kevin, aka Kevin Paffrath, was in Florida for most of the month. In the early part of the month, he was visiting Walt Disney World with his family, and then later in the month, he went to Tampa, Florida, where he met up with another YouTuber by the name of Ben Mallah. Ben Mallah is a YouTuber as well as a real estate developer, and they met together and did a bunch of collabs on both of their YouTube channels. Now, you can prove all of this if you go to Meet Kevin's YouTube channel. You can find the videos of him in Walt Disney World in early May, and then you can find a bunch of videos with him with Ben Mallah in the later half of May. So we know he was there. We know he was in Tampa, Florida at the time of the events that this actually happened. So on the night of May 13th of 2022, Meet Kevin was driving a vehicle in Tampa, Florida. Also in the vehicle was another man by the name of Jack Selby. So if you're unfamiliar with Jack Selby is the assistant and the friend of Graham Stephan. So Jack Selby and Graham Stephan were both in Tampa, Florida on the 13th as well, because Graham Stephan was fighting in an event the next day called Creator Clash. If you're unfamiliar with Creator Clash, it's an event that was put together by a YouTuber by the name of iDubbbz, and it was for charity. So a bunch of famous YouTubers fought in boxing matches. A bunch of money went to charity. Graham Stephan was in that event. So Graham Stephan and Jack Selby were in Tampa to go to that event, which was the next day, May 14th. So about 11:45 that night, Meet Kevin was driving a vehicle. He was at the corner of West Cleveland Street and South Rome Avenue, and he went through a stop sign without actually stopping. Now, Meet Kevin is not refuting this claim. He actually said so on the Weakman Personal Finance channel. He actually said that, yes, he did go through a stop sign.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Meet Kevin went ahead and texted me and told me all the dirty details about this DUI. So I'm going to literally read this text to you, okay? And did he pay me $1,000 to do this? I don't know. I can't disclose that, but, you know, I'll let you decide that. So here's a text from Meet Kevin. Anyway, I was pulled over for running a stop sign. Disgusting criminal. At the end of a highway off-ramp. I effed up there 100%. Kevin, you're supposed to stop at the stop sign.
Now, after Meet Kevin went through the stop sign, he was seen by a police officer for going through it and was actually pulled over. Eventually, the police officer, for whatever reason, believed there was probable cause that he was driving under the influence. The officer requested that he do a BAC test, which is a breath analyzer test, to prove that he was either drunk or not drunk, and Meet Kevin refused to take the breath analyzer test. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. So on the police report, it specifically says by the cop, it says BAC refused, meaning the cop said that Meet Kevin refused to take the breath analyzer test, proving he was either drunk or not drunk. Now, Meet Kevin, however, refutes this claim. Meet Kevin went on Weakman Personal Finance and explained that Meet Kevin said that he wanted to be taken to the hospital and have a blood test performed. So that's another way you can actually test someone's alcohol levels, is by drawing their blood. So Meet Kevin claims that he told the officer he wanted to be driven by the officer to the hospital and have his blood taken to prove that he was not drunk. Now, Meet Kevin explains, he says this is a much better way of testing if someone is actually drunk or not, so that's why he wanted to do that. The officer says the BAC was just refused. Now, Meet Kevin says that the officer told him that he needed to take the BAC and that he would not take him to the hospital, and that if he didn't take the BAC, he would just mark down as BAC refused. Now, it's up to you whether you believe Meet Kevin or the officer in this case. That is completely up to you what you want to believe.
I was a law enforcement explorer for 3 years and conducted and trained in DUIs. He's basically a cop, bro. He's basically FBI. Horizontal gaze, nystagmus test. Was that like shoving a finger up your ass? Roadside and breath tests. I know the textbook on this quite well, and I know that all field tests are designed to make you look like a fool. Look how cute he is. Oh, look at little me breath. Me breathalyzer. Oh, I just want to pinch his cheeks. I refused all tests other than blood. He likes to get pricked. I was also kind of a dick to the cop because I gave him the silent treatment. Pleading the fifth, essentially. I plead the fifth. You know, you freaking, I don't know, run over, hit a school bus and flip it over. I plead the fifth, bro, I'm sorry. They let me call the hospital to request blood. The hospital agreed. But the cop then refused to drive me there and said if I don't do breath, he'll just say, oh, turn to the page, that I refused.
So that is Meet Kevin's side of the story. He says he wanted to be taken to the hospital for a blood test. Now, I've done a bunch of research. I can't seem to find any evidence that says the cops have to take you to the hospital for a blood test. From what I've heard, from what I've seen in the past, you have to blow into the BAC test, right? If they think you're potentially drunk or something, you have to blow into it. I don't think you can actually refuse that. But Meet Kevin, that is what he's claiming. That is Meet Kevin's main defense. He's saying that, they have to take you to the hospital for a blood test. They did not, so he obviously shouldn't be arrested. Now, like I said, I don't know if that's true or not, but that is his claim. But one thing I want to say, if you're completely sober, there's no reason why you can't just blow into the breathalyzer, right? It's obviously not going to show that you're drunk if you hadn't had anything to drink. So it's very obvious that Meet Kevin was drinking. He knows he was drinking, but he thinks that he potentially was under the limit. But the facts are he knows he was drinking, or he wouldn't have turned down the breathalyzer test at all. So because of that, Meet Kevin was arrested by the officer. The actual claim that the officer made is probable cause of a DUI. That's on the police report. That's why he was arrested. He was taken down to the jail, and the other person in the car, Jack Selby, was the person who bailed him out of jail. Jack Selby paid $500 to get Meet Kevin out of jail, and then he was out of jail later that day, just a few hours ago. So he was processed, and I don't think he actually spent any time in jail, but he went through the processing, had his mugshot taken. All of that was part of the process, and then he was let out after the $500 was posted by Jack Selby. Now, in the state of Florida, if you are convicted of a DUI, again, Meet Kevin is fighting this case currently, but if you are convicted of a DUI, it is an automatic 1-year suspension of your license. So if Meet Kevin is eventually convicted, again, he is fighting this, but if he is convicted, he will lose the ability to drive motor vehicles for an entire year at least. Now, there are possible other repercussions that could happen, but I'm not really going to go into that much, but he will definitely lose his license for a year if he is convicted. Now, like I said, Meet Kevin is fighting this case. He has claimed on Weakman Personal Finance's channel that the police acted inappropriately and that the police were required to take him to the hospital for a blood test. Now, like I said, I don't know if that is true or not. I don't know if that's actually going to fly, but that seems to be his defense. He has hired a lawyer. The lawyer is going to go to the case later this month. So late July, the case will actually take place. His lawyer is going to go and argue that, whatever they're going to argue, but the police didn't operate appropriately. I'm going to try and get the case thrown out. If they do get the case thrown out, then there's not really any repercussions. If he's found guilty, he will lose his license and he will have the DUI record on his record for a long time. But there you go. That's the actual factual information as to what happened. Again, I'm not presenting my opinion, just the facts, both sides, the arrest record, and Meet Kevin's opinion, Meet Kevin's story as well. It's up to you to decide whether you trust this guy or not. I do think it is important that this information is out there. Meet Kevin is trying to hide this. He's trying to remove any video that reports on this, and that's wrong. Okay, the censorship on YouTube is wrong. Meet Kevin is a public figure. He ran for governor of California last year. Can you imagine if he was actually elected governor? Right, if he had gotten a DUI after elected governor, every news organization would be reporting about this right away. But because he's just a YouTuber, he can get away with trying to hide behind this. But it's important that people know this information. So there you go. Leave your comments below. Do you believe Kevin? Do you believe the cops? Let me know in the comments section.